Hey, everyone. No fancy intros today. I've got mixed feelings right now. On one hand, it's great to finally get official details about MAVUIKA from the beta. But on the other hand, Hoyoverse just dropped what might be the worst news for me, and possibly for many of you. Thanks to our first ever sponsor, LDShop GG, brought to you by the creators of LD Player. LDShop is a safe and trusted site for topping up games like Genshin Impact. One of the best parts? LDShop purchases their goods directly through Razer Gold, the official top-up provider for Hoyoverse, so you'll only need your UID and server. LDShop offers competitive prices on Genesis crystals. Not only do you get 12% off Genesis crystals, and if you still have the double bonus, you can get that too. Register now with my link in the description to receive an exclusive 5% discount on your top-ups. I will give the Welkins to the winners through LDShop. So let's buy a Welkin. All you have to do is select the bundle of your choice, select your server, enter your UID, and select your payment method. LDShop offers secure ways to pay and protect your payment info. And just like that, your purchase will be safely delivered to your account in just 5 minutes. Now that we've made our first purchase, we can join the Lucky Spins event for a chance to win coupons, extra gold, or even an iPhone 15 Pro. Plus, if you spend over $80 in a month, you'll become a VIP member that includes benefits like a Welcome Moon, weekly coupons, and monthly coupon. So, if you're looking to save on top-ups, check the link in the description to get started today. Thanks again to LDShop for sponsoring the channel. Let's dive into it. It seems the pre-beta leaks were spot on, and we now have her full kit revealed. The good news? Her gameplay looks incredible. One highlight is that her burst stacks can be generated by characters outside Natlan. That's huge for team flexibility. MAVUIKA'S kit is packed with exciting mechanics. From her AoE Pyro ring and her tap skill to her hold skill, where she hops onto her motorcycle, everything feels fresh and dynamic. Let's not forget the versatility her bike adds. You can fly, swim, and even ride on water. She's shaping up to be a game changer. Let's break everything down, step by step. To start, she has 2 main skills. First, the tap skill. When you activate it, MAVUIKA creates a pyro ring that applies AoE pyro damage to enemies every 2 seconds. The best part? It works even when she's off-field, meaning she can keep contributing while you focus on other characters. If you've seen Raiden Shogun's skill, it's somewhat similar, just with a fiery twist. Then there's the hold skill, where things get even more interesting. When you hold the skill, MAVUIKA hops onto her motorcycle and gains pyro infusion for her attacks. In this mode, her basic attack combo changes completely. She slashes enemies while riding, and her charged attack involves spinning the bike in a circle before slamming the front wheel into enemies. This generates a resource called Knight's Soul Points, which are critical for keeping her in this powered-up state. The pyro infusion ends when these points run out, so timing is key. Now, let's dive into her elemental burst. This is where things get really unique. Instead of using standard elemental energy, her burst relies on a resource we'll call MAVUIKA points. Not the official name, but it works for now. Here's how it works. You can store up to 200 MAVUIKA points, but only 100 are needed to activate her burst. Once you've collected enough, you can trigger it, unleashing an incredibly powerful attack. However, if you have all 200 points saved, using her burst will consume everything, so you can't chain it back to back. How do you collect these MAVUIKA points? It's pretty straightforward. 1. Whenever Knight's Soul Points are consumed, like during MAVUIKA'S motorcycle mode, that consumption gets converted into MAVUIKA points. 2. Hitting enemies with normal attacks also generates these points, which means any character can contribute, not just those from Natlan. Of course, Natlan characters will have an edge since they can both consume Knight's Soul and deal normal attack damage simultaneously. Now, let's talk about what happens when you use her burst. The power of her burst scales with the number of MAVUIKA points you consume. For example, using it with just 100 points will deal decent damage, but if you wait until you've maxed out at 200 points, it hits like a truck. After activating her burst, MAVUIKA enters an awakened state for 7 seconds. During this time, she gains resistance to interruption, and her normal and charged attacks deal extra damage that scales with the number of MAVUIKA points you used. It's a high-risk, high-reward mechanic, but when timed right, it's devastating. Her talents add even more depth to her kit. For example, her first passive gives all active characters a temporary damage boost after she uses her burst. The strength of this boost depends on how many MAVUIKA points were consumed, reaching up to 50%. This bonus gradually fades over time, so you'll want to capitalize on it quickly. Her second passive is all about synergy with teammates. Whenever a Knight's Soul burst happens, like when another Natlan character uses their special attack, Mavuika gains a hefty 35% attack bonus. This makes her a fantastic pick for natlan-heavy teams. And then there's her third passive, which is just pure fun. It lets her use her bike in ways that completely change how you explore. She can fly, swim, climb faster, and of course, zip around on land. In this mode, her movement speed increases, and her normal attacks let her perform fiery slashes. If you jump well on the bike, it actually flies, and you can perform a diving attack where the bike crashes into enemies, dealing massive AoE pyro damage. This attack's power even scales with your team's total attack stats. To make things even better, her bike mode reduces Knight's soul fuel consumption for the whole team by 30%, while increasing Mavuika's own Knight soul points by the same amount. If this makes it into the final version, it'll be a game changer for managing resources in combat. There's still more to uncover, especially about her constellations, but the current details aren't finalized. For now, let's just say her kit is shaping up to be versatile, fun, and packed with mechanics that reward creativity and good timing. But here's the part that's hard to swallow. If you're a free-to-play player preparing for patch 5.3, brace yourself. This could be one of the toughest patches in the game's history, because Arlecchino's rerun and Mavuika's banner might appear together in the same version. Yes, you heard that right, the Pyro Archon and one of the most beloved characters could both drop at the same time. This isn't just bad news, it's a complete disaster. And as if that weren't enough, Citlali, another new character, is rumored to debut in the second phase. For those of us with limited resources, this lineup feels overwhelming. It's not just bad, it's a nightmare scenario. Let's break this down. Two fan-favorite characters, Mavuika, the Pyro Archon, and Arlecchino, one of the most anticipated reruns, could both be featured in the same version. If you're not already feeling the pressure, just wait. Citlali is also rumored to appear in the second phase of the patch. For any player who doesn't have an endless supply of primo gems, this lineup is an absolute disaster. This information comes from HDGCat, a trusted insider with an impressive track record for accurate leaks. If you followed previous updates, you'll know HDGCat has been reliable when it comes to character banners and patch details. While it's always wise to wait for official confirmation, the consistency of this source gives the rumor a lot of weight. If this turns out to be true, and let's be real, it's looking very likely, it's going to be a monumental challenge for free-to-play players. Let's talk about why this is such a huge deal. First, Mavuika. She's the Pyro Archon, and if you know anything about Archons in this game, they are always essential. Her gameplay has just been revealed, and it looks absolutely incredible, fun, unique, and powerful. She's practically guaranteed to be a top-tier pick for any account, making her a must-pull for most players. But then we have Arlecchino, who's no less beloved. She has a dedicated fanbase, and her return has been one of the most eagerly awaited reruns in the game's history. Players who missed her initial release have been holding on to their resources for months, if not longer. Now, imagine both of these characters being available in the same patch, or worse, the same phase. For free-to-play players, this isn't just a tough decision, it's borderline cruel. You'll almost certainly have to choose between them because saving enough primo gems for both will feel next to impossible unless you've been hoarding since the dawn of time. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Citlali enters the picture. She's expected to arrive in the second phase, making this patch even more of a nightmare to navigate. It feels like the developers are deliberately turning up the pressure here. Pairing Mavuika and Arlecchino together in the same patch and throwing Citlali into the mix isn't a coincidence. It's clearly a calculated strategy to get players to spend everything they've saved and maybe even reach for their wallets. Think about it. Mavuika is the Pyro Archon, practically a must-have. Arlecchino is a long-awaited rerun with massive appeal. And then there's Citlali, adding fresh hype as a new character. For most players, this setup feels like an impossible trap, forcing you to pick one and miss out on the others. Even if you're a spender, managing to pull for all three is going to be a serious stretch unless you're prepared. Now, let's quickly touch on the 4-star lineup because it's equally enticing. According to HDGCat, we're looking at Xilonen, Rosaria, and Bennett. These are all solid picks. Bennett is a top-tier support, Rosaria brings unique utility, and Xilonen works great in specific team comps. There's also a new 4-star character from Liyue who will be available for free during the Lantern Rite event. That's at least some good news since everyone will have the chance to snag a new character without spending primo gems. But let's be real, this doesn't make up for the looming disaster of 5.3. If you're a free-to-play player or low on resources, You're facing one of the hardest decisions in recent memory. You'll need to start planning now, and that might mean skipping banners in 5.2 entirely just to save enough for your top priority. This setup, MAVUIKA, Arlecchino, and Citlali, feels like a trap. For free-to-play players, it's going to hurt. Even for spenders, pulling for all three will be a massive stretch unless you're fully prepared. So, who will you go for? MAVUIKA, Arlecchino, or Citlali? Or are you holding out for the free 4-star from Liyue? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget, we're celebrating our journey to 5,000 subscribers with a 5 Welcome Moon giveaway, thanks to LDShop. Just register using the link in the description and comment your LDShop ID, Genshin UID, and server for a chance to win. Also, if you're looking to save up to 11% on Genesis crystals, check out LDshop.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and good luck preparing for this chaotic patch. You're going to need it. What do you think? Does MAVUIKA sound like a must-pull for you? This is also the worst news for you about Arlecchino and MAVUIKA. Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.